Hello, and welcome to the Seafoam Isles Draft League Season 2. This is the third set of the first round of playoffs. This is the first battle in this set, which is between Colin and the New York Latios and Morgana and the Spikemuth Morpekos. The Mega Pokemon in this battle are Mega Gallade for Colin, which is not here, and Mega Mawile for Morgana, which is here. The Z Pokemon are Z Any Superior, Z Attack Drapion for Colin, neither of which are here, and Z Any Morpeko, Z Attack Cursula. Cursula is here. Off the bat, really balanced teams between these two. Everything kind of has its own little niche. Cursula is going to be an interesting predicament for Colin. I think Scizor gets knockoff, but Cursula gets Will-O-Wisp, so it needs to be very careful of that. The game plan against Cursula might just be to pivot out on it, maybe pivoting into Moltres if possible, that way it doesn't get affected by a Will-O-Wisp burn, or maybe pivoting into Vaporeon since it gets Heal Bell, and then it can just get rid of burns that way. For Morgana, we're probably going to see Screens Rillaboom again, or just Screens, and then most of these other Pokemon. They can sweep pretty well if they're given the right amount of support, which Morgana seems to have with, I'm thinking Rocks and Screens. Yeah, aside from that, no one Pokemon looks like it's going to be a real major threat, except for maybe Tapu Koko, but these three here, to me, look like the biggest threats on Colin's team, because Moltres can use Heat Wave or Flamethrower on Rillaboom and on Mega Mawile, which will do a ton of damage. Scizor can pivot out on all these Pokemon. Whether or not it does damage is another question, but it can pivot out. And against Rillaboom and Cursula, I think it's going to be a pretty important Pokemon for Colin. And then Tapu Koko, there's Hawlucha, and Tapu Koko outspeeds Hawlucha before Unburden, which is really important because you could just like Flying Gem, put Flying Gem on it if Morgana really wanted to, and then Acrobatics, and then all of a sudden Acrobatics just starts doing damage, and Hawlucha is even faster. So if Morgana can get a Thunderbolt off on Tapu Koko, that'll be pretty good for him. I think it also gets a Fairy type move and it can hit Grimmsnarl with it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and see how this turns out. As far as leads go, probably Cursula, either Cursula or Grimmsnarl for Morgana, and I'm gonna guess maybe Sandaconda for Colin. Tapu Koko for Colin and Cursula for Morgana. Tapu Koko uses Thunderbolt. Morgana uses, Cursula uses Shadow Ball, which does massive damage. Thunderbolt's going to do 41. Cursula is sitting at 21% right now. Tapu Koko goes down. That's kind of big because there's not much that can really outspeed Hawlucha. This is likely going to go for Bullet Punch, which it does. Steel Gem Bullet Punch. Interesting strategy from Colin. That takes down Cursula. This is probably Technician as well. Out comes Hawlucha. Definitely don't want to stay in on like a Fire Punch. Sandaconda comes out. U-turn is going to do 17%. Looks like this is either Shed Skin or Sand Veil. Now out comes Rillaboom. Grassy Seed is going to raise Rillaboom's defense. Sandaconda likely needs to switch out into Moltres, which it does. If Morgana predicts with a Rock Slide, that's bye-bye Moltres. Instead he goes for Leech Seed. Okay. Maybe a Stall Rillaboom? Question mark? Happy face? Toxic goes off onto Rillaboom. Knockoff's going to do 20%, knocking off Heavy Duty Boots. I don't know how much that's going to matter now, though, since I believe the Rocksetter and Morgana's team is now down. Rillaboom uses Protect. Roost goes off. Wait, this is incredibly unlike Morgana. This is amazing. What? Stall with Rillaboom? And Rillaboom switches out to Grimmsnarl. Likely a Flamethrower here. Just 44%. No, 10% burn chance. Grassy Terrain does disappear now. Leech Seed heals Grimmsnarl a bit more. Sandaconda comes out. Grimmsnarl is going to use Taunt. That was, I think, meant for Moltres, which is crazy, first of all. Taunting Moltres, so it can't use Toxic or Roost, is huge. Grimmsnarl is going to use Bulk Up. Probably going to use Spirit Break once it gets enough of those up. Body Press is going to do 18%. Not a lot after that Bulk Up. Now out comes Vaporeon. This has Haze on it. 100%, or else it would not have come out. Spirit Break crits and does 64%, and I believe it always drops special attack. Is it outspeed? It might not. Morgana taunts Vaporeon, so this can't go for Haze anymore. And there's a Haze. That is huge because this allows Grimmsnarl to stay in. Ice Beam is going to do 40%. Not a lot though, and another Spirit Break might KO. Brings it down to 1%. That is wow. I don't know if that was a roll or not, but crazy damage on Spirit Break. Goes for another Bulk Up. Vaporeon probably just going to Flip Turn out. No, goes for another Ice Beam. Colin might be hoping for a freeze here. Taunt does end. Colin might need to be careful of not going for a Haze here. Morgana is going to taunt again. Colin calls this out. Flip turns out. Does minimal damage, but Figgy Berry takes care of most of the progress that Colin had on the Grimmsnarl. Out comes Moltres now. Spirit Break not going to do quite as much. Flamethrower is going to do 42%, but it also burns. That is huge. Spirit Break now does 13%. That special attack drop is not going to matter. Grimmsnarl is just dead this turn, unless Morgana switches out for some reason. He does not. Goes for a taunt, so that takes care of it using Roost or Toxic. Which it was going to do, actually. Very smart play by Morgana. Down it goes. It's 5-4 for Colin now. Prankster really helps slower Pokemon. With a lot of status and utility. That is just crazy. Out comes Vaporeon. I don't know what Hawlucha is going to do. It's going to use Tailwind. How fast is a Tailwind Unburden Hawlucha? Probably faster than Lightning, if I had to guess. U-Turn's going to do 16%. Still does not KO. Man, Vaporeon is bulky. Intimidate goes off on Mawile. Vaporeon's going to use Wish. Colin probably does not want to keep it in. Unless he just decides to call out a sucker punch for some reason. Instead, knockoff is going to KO. Wish will now no longer have an effect. Even game between the two coaches now. Now out comes Sandaconda. Earthquake will do a ton of damage to Mawile. Uses knockoff, which takes care of leftovers. This is going to use Earthquake now more than likely. Glare! Oh, that's... I didn't even realize that... Wow, okay. Tailwind is a thing. I don't know how I forgot about that. Earthquake just KOs. Like I figured, he's going to do a ton. I don't know if it was going to actually one-hit KO or not, but... I think Morgana really wanted to bring out Hawlucha there. Or maybe he did the calc and didn't expect it to KO. And Morgana encores the Earthquake, so Hawlucha is free to set up a Tailwind here if Morgana chooses to. Scizor comes out. U-turn does 10%, not a whole lot. Out comes Combuskin. This goes for Protect to set up Speed Boost. And out comes Sandaconda. So Speed Boost will now go up. Will-O-Wisp. That is... I think Earthquake will now be like a 2 or 3 hit KO now. If Combuskin doesn't KO this thing first. Goes for Swords Dance. This is going to go for Earthquake or Glare. One of the two. Goes for Glare, paralyzing it. That Will-O-Wisp is big. If that had actually been able to burn Scizor, this would have been a lot worse for Colin. Flare Blitz is going to go off, KOing Sandaconda. The speed boosts on Combuskin are going to add up. They're going to add up pretty quickly, so Colin's best bet is to probably send in Moltres here and just sweep, because if this thing has a flying type move, aside from Roost, which it doesn't most likely, it sweeps easily. Uses Roost though. If it has a flying type move, it'll KO. But now out comes Scizor, so I don't think Moltres has a flying type move. Otherwise, it probably would have stayed in. Encore does nothing because Colin switched out. Bullet Punch does 51%. Technician is a crazy ability. Well, Stab and Technician on that Bullet Punch. Acrobatics does 52%. Hawlucha is now in Unburdened, so this is going to be super quick, super fast. Acrobatics is going to KO. Now 3-2 in Morgana's favor. But most likely, Moltres tanks in Acrobatics easily. %, easy tank for Moltres. He's going to use Flamethrower. And yeah, so that's pretty much probably going to be game aside from Combuskin. It is paralyzed, and if it has like Thunder Punch, which it might get, I'm not sure if it does or not. Out comes Latios though. I don't think Colin wants to find out. Combuskin uses Swords Dance. So it's going to get the speed boost here, but Latios will just outspeed because of paralysis. Size Shock is going to KO. And now, yeah, not too much Morgana can do here, unless this is a super duper bulky Rillaboom. And if that's the case, okay, Mystical Fire does a ton. I'm going to use Knockoff. Knockoff does 70%, does not one-hit KO Latios. So, this is game. But, overall, really, really good. game between the two. Grassy Glide, wow, okay, that was unexpected. Grassy Glide almost KO'd. I wonder if that was a range. If that was a range, that's just crazy. Anyways, so that's game. Really crazy set. That Hawlucha set, that's just crazy. That was a really good set. And then Rillaboom with Leech Seed and Protect. Crazy all around from Morgana here. And Colin played very well to play around the very unorthodox sets. Both coaches played very well. Looking forward to how match number 2 is going to go. And I hope y'all are too, because that is coming up next.